And then also too, not everyone's worth, your time, because I can have 1,000 leads, right? But I only get 5 good listings out of them, and they actually sell, compared to having 20 leads.
Hey, and welcome back to Real Estate Confessions, where real estate cultura and generational wealth collide. We are 3 real estate girlies spilling the tea, closing deals, and confessing everything. Yes, you heard that right. Everything. From wild client stories to generational building wins, nothing is off limits here. So let's confess. I'm Esme.
Hi, I'm Nayeli.
And I'm Rosalind.
And today's guest is Alex Soto, a young realtor and entrepreneur who's already secured a few listings by cold calling. And he manages 2 commercial properties, and he has scaled his own power washing business. Please help me give a warm welcome to Alex Soto.
When I reached out to you about coming to the podcast, what stuck out to me was the fact that I said, hey, well, what makes you different from other agents? And you said, I work hard.
Yeah.
And this is something that I think a lot of people don't realize, that sometimes, like, there's some people who are just lucky, and some people have to work hard, right? Yep. And can you first tell me a little bit about how you got into real estate, and then tell me how working hard has helped you get here?
Yeah, so I got into real estate just because the idea of owning property and like eventually retiring and having that income come in is definitely always struck interest ever since high school. Primarily, I got into real estate because I was cutting hair actually throughout high school, and I had a buddy of mine that was cutting up. He said that he got introduced to someone that owns his own brokerage, and then eventually I met the owner of that brokerage. And then later on, I joined the brokerage, and then he took me under his wing, showed me everything, and then kind of had like a natural feel for it and a love for it. But later on, things move on. We get, different likes and different opinions, and then that's when I found myself at Realty of America. So that's what got me started, just because of the idea of, real estate investing, but also too, I like the sales position. At the end of the day, it's definitely challenging, right? But there's a lot that's involved in this, but also too, you get to meet new people. It definitely inspires you to get out there and also improve your skills as far as speaking, educating, listening, and also to be more organized, because it's it's all about systems. It's all about following up, being organized, and always attending to the client of what their specific needs are at the end of the day.
You mentioned that you started as a barber at just 13 years old. What fueled you to be so humble and hungry for money?
Well, my dad has his own business, right?
Okay.
He came here from Mexico just by himself, and then he sooner or later brought my mother, and then they had my brother and my sister. And ever since then, he's always been working hard. He always, had great manners, always showed up, and always wanted to be an honest guy, make an honest living. And eventually he started his business, I think about 30 years ago. It's a sewer excavation. And he's been, taking off ever since. He was able to, pay off our house, give us a nice lifestyle, and not have us worry about bills or food. So coming back from that, humble beginnings, it definitely just kind of gave me like a spark in myself where I wanted to build something for myself, but also to not make my parents regret their decision of coming over here and giving us a good life. So that's why I wanted to start young, and also too, I just like that purpose of cutting hair and eventually on to bigger things. Starting something from the ground up, basically.
Do you still cut hair, or is it just mainly real estate?
Mainly real estate. The real estate is taking a lot of my time, also power washing as well. But I usually cut up my dad. That's the only really one person I cut up it, or also to my brother. But other than that, I don't really cut up anyone else. It's just I don't have the time for it. I don't have the energy to do so as well. But it's like a little hobby to back off from all the stress from work and everything else.
Yeah.
So how do you manage? So I know you're a co-owner of the business, and also you're a full-time real estate agent. How do you manage those two?
Well, it's all about delegation at the end of the day. You assign certain people to certain roles. So it's always about observation and taking action to fix and tweak those people that you assign to those certain roles to perfect it to your liking. but also too setting standards and setting systems up where it's easy for them to follow, but also too coming back from their inside and seeing what they're struggling on or what they're not understanding, and helping them understand from that aspect of what you're looking to get from it.
Okay.
So that's how I kind of delegate everything out.
Super impressive the way that you're talking to me right now, because you're 21 years old. So I have to remind myself, like, I have a 21-year-old, FYI. She's very smart, but for you seem very well prepared. And do you have anybody that like coaches you into this, or is it just something that you've just been observing your dad doing? And
well, I observed my dad. He kind of gave me like the structure of, right, like always being on time, always be honest, always give the best you can, and also too just try to just be out there as much as you can, because at the end of the day, if you don't wake up and have that drive to look for a new business or provide the best service, you're gonna get nothing but the worst out of things. That's how I put it. So basically, the really kind of like the teacher I have right now would be my co-owner of the power washing business, Josh Martinez. He kind of like taught me sales. He's kind of taught me like how to really structure things, and also too how to navigate things. So I give all props to him. But as we grow and excel in certain avenues, I learn my own tricks. I learn my own says and ways. But at the end of the day, my father and Josh have really taught me a lot, but also too just listening to other people and seeing how certain people do certain things, because when you receive a service from someone, you kind of see how their systems work, and if it's something that like you kind of like that they did that you don't apply in your business, it's kind of like, all right, you can eat off the idea and apply in your business and see how it plays out.
I like that. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
So
you mentioned commercial. I'm hardcore team commercial.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, or like what are you?
Well, commercial, it's all about the numbers at the end of the day. It's always what's the potential income, what's the income making it now, and if the numbers work for your sense. So I think commercial is really great, and also too just depending on what commercial, right? There's industrial and then there's residential, but
you manage, or what do you?
Yeah, I manage it. So my father actually. He's a big time like saving cash under the mattress and stuff like that. So he's getting a little bit older. He doesn't really have like the 401k like everyone else has set up and all that stuff. So I just I kind of worried about that. So I kind of like I wanted to get into real estate. He wanted to invest in real estate. So I guess we kind of like tied into that, and then we found some deals that worked out for us as far as numbers. And my management position as far as those buildings is kind of like doing the finances, doing the tracking of everything, doing the leasing, the customer relationships and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, it's a business. You want to understand that what areas you can make the most money or revenue from, as far as like implying coin operating laundry machines or raising the rents, parking spots, storage lockers and stuff like that. So you have to look in those avenues as what attracts the customer and what brings the highest prices as far as income wise.
But lucratively, you think commercial is better than?
Yeah, 100%. I think it is. The residential side is really good. Also, too,
I'm big time.
Yeah, and also too the shopping centers and industrial. Like if you do those triple net deals, that's where like the real money is from. But it takes a lot of money to go into it.
Yeah. There's still a lot of opportunity though. I think a lot of people don't realize that you could buy commercial with ITIN.
Yeah.
You could buy and it's a business, and it deja bien y bonito, and no one's waking you up at 2 a.m. to unclog toilets or all that bullshit,
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of pros and cons, but I feel like if you kind of know how to navigate things, but also learn how people work, you can kind of get the best out of the situation. Sometimes you only have to go through a loan. You can just do seller financing, or also too just do innovations and stuff like that. There's a lot out there, right? But it just knowing the right information and using the right way.
Yeah, I like that. Let's start saying commercials, the Latino 401k.
Yeah.
So what did running a business teach you that you haven't learned in real estate?
Well, what running a business has taught me, it's that you always have to look in this perspective of the customer. Where are they coming from? What are they looking for? And apply those standards in your service. At the end of the day, when you take on a customer to sell their house or buy a house, you have to set those standards, right? Even if though they haven't mentioned that certain thing or asked that certain question, you should always answer it. So it's kind of like you have to have to jot it down of like what things should be said at the first meeting, what things should be said at the second meeting, what type of material you should create and present to your client and stuff like that. So I think that's what's helped me a lot to secure a lot of listings or get a lot of customers, because at the end of the day, I just come from different avenues that a lot of people don't apply because they're either too lazy or just don't know of it. So that's kind of been beneficial for me. But more importantly too, is just having the knowledge of, sourcing my ventures or, my connections elsewhere where it can benefit them in other areas. Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned that for your goals that you want to double your sales or you want to increase your sales to 30. How are you on track for that?
Well, I think so. This year's been up and down, but primarily the biggest lesson I learned as of this year when taking out listings is that not everyone's a good listing, not everyone's your client, not everyone's worth your time. At the end of the day, this is a sales job. There's no promised salary. There's no promised commission. So if you think personally, if it's not going to sell or they're not just working on your terms and viewpoints, I think it's not worth the while, because at the end of the day, you can have a listing, right? You can stay on the market for 90, 60 days, but as soon as that contract goes by, you didn't get nothing out of it. You spent $200 for photos and marketing. You probably spent man hours as far as doing like promotions on Facebook or doing door knocking, door hangers and stuff like that. So you got to understand, you can't bite off more than you can chew in a sense. And then also too, not everyone's worth, your time, because I can have 1,000 leads, right? Mm-hmm. But I only get 5 good listings out of them and they actually sell, compared to having 20 listings, right? And all those 20 listings go expire because they just didn't work out in the sense of setting it up right for success.
Yeah. Because you mentioned the fees that go into like the photos and all of that. You don't charge a canceling fee?
Well, my niche of where I've been getting a bunch of listings from is like canceled or expireds. So you got to come in the aspect of understanding that these customers went through probably a bad experience with their prior realtor, or they weren't getting what they're expecting, or they're just tired of it, right? So there's an area of distress there for the customers or the prospects. So you want to, bring in the most lenient terms to them where they say, okay, they read it over and they think about it like, okay, I have nothing to lose. If it sells, it sells. If not, then I don't have to suffer from anything as far as paying for photos or paying anything else. So, that's the cost of business. If you feel like it's not going to sell or not going to have success from, I think you just shouldn't jump into it, because you are putting up some man hours and some time and money into it. So that's the aspect I come from. So at the end of the day, a lot of these people like, oh, I got to think about it, or I'm going to talk to this guy from Remax. I'm like, yeah, Remax is going to charge you a cancellation fee. They're going to charge you a bunch of fees. And at the end of the day, I care what comes into your pocket, because you're selling it for a reason, right? That's what's going to motivate you.
And I think also it's it's a business expense. So for me, I don't do cancellation fees because I'm aware, right? And I can take that L because my business is sustainable. It's to a point where it's sustainable. But like, for example, say that you did charge a cancellation fee and they don't want to pay you. Like, are you really going to come after them? It's bad for business. So that's why a lot of people don't enforce it. And you're in the, I've never had to deal with this with ROA, but I don't know if they would actually like take the man hours to actually go and enforce like a cancellation fee, because it's bad for business, because we really are, it's a people business here. So like you kind of have to, that's why you kind of have to read the room, like how he was saying, like you have to kind of read the room and see if really this person is going to sell. Because sometimes you could tell. I bet you that now you have the experience, right?
Yeah, I'm telling you that not 90% of my listing presentation is just asking what they want on that and then running the numbers with them. I don't really present a whole CMA or how I wake up or what I post on social media, because at the end of the day, that stuff doesn't matter if it doesn't sell. So a lot of these things, I'm like, okay, based off your scenario, what you want to do. What are you comfortable to, walking away with at the end of the day? And I kind of based it off, case studies, like kind of like worst case, middle case, and high case. And I just be like, okay, how do you feel making this number? And how do you feel making, this number on the middle case? I kind of try to aim to have a settle like outcome on the middle case, because we don't want to shoot for the highest. We want to kind of like look like superheroes for our client, but also to prepare them in the best way possible and not overpromise, because a lot of these realtors overpromise, and then when it comes time to the closing table, they're netting them less than they expected, and then now they have a bad experience and they don't refer you to their family or nothing like that.
So setting expectations, right?
Yeah, setting expectations.
You mentioned that you have your mentor as your dad and Josh. Is there anything else that you do for yourself to work on yourself that you would recommend to other young people who want to get into real estate or who want to be a business owner like you? Because people like you are not like, there's not a lot of them, right?
Yeah.
So
You're one of a kind.
obviously you are impressive, and you know, you would wanna. I think you would be a good role model for younger people who want to do the same thing. What would you recommend to those people?
Well, just keep your head straight. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. You know, don't really be going out late at night. Don't be watching a bunch of like videos that are like misleading and stuff like that, or don't be feeding yourself misleading information. But more importantly, you know, set a standard for yourself. All right, like if I'm gonna wake up at 5 or 6 o'clock, wake up at 5 or 6 o'clock. You know, do the things you're supposed to be doing, and that's when you feel accomplished. You know, this might be a little controversial, but a lot of people say I have depression, or, you know, I'm sad, I don't feel successful or anything like that. But if you're not doing anything at the end of the day, or not chasing a purpose, that's when you tend to get lost, or tend to, you know, get off the main topic or main goal you're chasing in the first place. So I think it's just always keeping yourself busy, you know, always keeping yourself in the right avenues, and not associating yourself with the wrong crowd, because at the end of the day, that does bring you all down.
Yeah, that's great advice.
I definitely agree. I would also like to add to, like, keep yourself active. Like, we were talking about this the other day, Nayeli. Is like, we need 3 hobbies. Is one that makes you money, one that keeps you active, and that one that runs your creative flow. So I just wanted to add that.
What else? Okay, so you're super busy doing all the time. What does Alex like to do for fun? What does Alex
regular 21-year-old.
Yeah, you're regular,
you know.
20. Do you do regular 21-year-old stuff?
I mean, I go out to the bars and clubs. I mean, I not really much anymore, but
What do you mean? Didn't you just turn 21?
yeah, but I can't really say anything
Why
else.
you gotta bust them out for?
I'm like, did you go pop bottles or what was that?
Well, I had something that allowed me in the club before I was 21.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, just hanging out, you know, exploring the city, exploring things, and, you know, kind of doing stuff that's interactive, or talking to people, or, you know, that's what I just do for fun. I just like to talk to people and just get my mind off of things, or just play video games, stuff like that. I don't try to really do excessive stuff, right? But you know, I like exploring.
I'm with that, because I'm the same way. It's like, oh, I'll do it just like to be social and interact with others, but then at the end of the day, it's just like, okay, like, back to business, stay focused. What are my actual goals? Like, what am I trying to get at?
Yeah.
And I feel like you feel the same way, no? Or
yeah, I feel the same
like
way. But yeah, just keeping yourself busy. I try to just keep myself busy.
So because you are only 21 years old, do you get a lot of pushback because of your age? Not to be disrespectful, but you don't look 21, right? So that kind of helps. But do you ever get pushback because you are younger?
No, not really. A lot of people see the confidence in me. A lot of people see, you know, I have a lot of experience, but also too, I just try to show up and show out. So, you know, for example, my recent for sale by owner, they saw the confidence in me, even though they're getting offered lower commission rates and stuff like that. I listened, and I tailored my plan and also my commission rates and everything towards their goal at the end of the day. Because like how I said, you gotta just see what they're comfortable netting with, and if it's something that's realistic, do it. And you know, charge your fee on top of it, but also explain to them. And that's why a lot of people like tend to be scared to kind of like share commissions rates with their clients, or, you know, when they ask that question, they get scared to answer that question, because that deters a lot of people. But also too, you kind of have to draw the picture in front of them. You know, even though I'm charging you like 2.5 or 3.25 or 3.5, you're still netting the number you want to make, right? But my goal is to make you more money. At the end of the day, you know, that's what you're hiring me. But if you're not comfortable with that, go with the next realtor. I'm not at a loss here, right?
I remember when we met you at a cold calling class. And you mentioned that you take listings, or when you're calling, you don't explain your numbers right away.
No.
You set the appointment, and at the appointment you set those numbers.
Yeah.
What's your success rate with that?
Well, it's like 50-50.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to like hear the person out, right? If it's something where they're overpriced, right, and you talk to the person and they're kind of like stuck and stubborn on that number, I just suggest to you, like, you can go there, but it might be a loss of time at the end of the day, because there's not a lot of things that can be implied to change their mind if their mind's already set. It just, you kind of have to figure out how to nurture that lead and reconvince them to say, okay, even though you're going to be netting this much, you know, that's the highest and the best, but we have to prepare you for the worst case. Yeah. So I don't really speak my numbers in person. If they're not willing to, you know, accept the appointment right when we're calling and don't see the value of us meeting, then it's not worth it as well too. Yeah.
So you see it from the start.
Yeah.
So you don't waste your time either.
Correct.
That's good. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, we're gonna segue into my favorite part of the show.
Okay.
Confession time. So, Alex, share a wild story so far in your real estate career.
Yeah. Well, my wild story was my first listing appointment. It was actually from a cold call.
Okay.
You know, I was really excited. I thought I was going to get it. You know, the numbers made sense and everything else. And then when I showed up, the seller was asking me, you know, what do I need to fix around here? And I was just pointing like simple stuff out, like, you know, paint the trim, you know, caulk up around the, you know, the toilets, the plumbing and stuff like that. And then I guess she had her, it was like her uncle or her nephew or cousin or something like that. He's been doing construction for 30 years of what he quoted me. And then when I had mentioned that stuff, and I was like, hey, this is stuff that's might deter buyers. He's like, that's not going to happen. This will pass FHA. I don't know what you're talking about, FHA, and started getting loud in my face. Even the seller had to tell him, like, hey, calm down. This is something, like, hey, calm down. You're embarrassing me. And then that just set the whole, like, the whole vibe awkward after that. Yeah, and I didn't get the listing.
Oof.
Yeah, and then after that, you know, the incident happened, she had told me, oh, like, are we done here? I have another realtor waiting outside. So that really kind of broke my heart.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. My charisma, my heart, my ego. But that did improve my game after that. I was watching YouTube videos and really perfecting my pitch.
Yeah.
And I did get, like, on that same month after that first listing appointment, I did get 7 contracts after that. That same month.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy. Are we doing the rapid fire or
no?
Yeah.
So you're supposed to ask us a question, Alex.
But what? Oh.
Alex is supposed to ask us a question back.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to.
No, you gotta ask us.
This is something we just started.
Yeah, I don't think we showcase our stuff enough, so we wanted more,
we're
like,
trying
back and forth.
Aaron, you know to cut this up part area.
Do you mind if I just text someone real quick?
Go ahead. Yeah.
My bad. Yeah, someone got pulled over in my car, so they need insurance.
Oh shit.
Yep. Okay.
All right,
sorry.
so-
Yeah, so you just want me to ask you questions?
So you can ask something back related. You can do it however you want.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
it
we'll
could
go we'll clockwise. So,
We first?
yeah.
Yay.
So what got you into real estate?
My family.
Okay.
So long story short, my dad was sick. I was a student at NIU, dropped out, got into real estate, and sold my first house to my parents. Just 3 months being in the business.
Nice.
Yeah.
And how long have you been in business?
This will be my 2nd year. Actually, my anniversary month is coming up. It's in October, guys.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's good. I mean, where do you see yourself in like the next year or so?
I just seen that we're gonna have follow-up bus, so where I see myself a year from now is probably owning my own business, or I already have my own business, I should say, like owning my own like first property, I should say, and just being more successful than I am now.
Started buying properties probably like 9 years ago, And then I bought like 3 houses with him, and he's like, hey, why don't you get your license? And I'm like, no. And he's like, why not? And I'm like, no, I don't think I'm prepared enough. He was always like super professional and super like on top of things. And I was not on top of anything. I was just winging my life. And then I was like, fine, you know, whatever. Eventually I was bored. And then I was like, you know, if I pass the test, I'll become an agent. If not, then I don't care, because, you know, I'm a pharmacist. So that was like my I already have my degree and everything. And then I passed, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll be a realtor now. And then here I am, 6 years later.
Nice. And then do you still do pharmacy?
I do it part-time, just to keep it on. And also it helps with buying more properties. So I just keep it on the side. But eventually the goal is to leave the pharmacy and then just do, just kind of focus on my investments.
Focus on your investments.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Like not even, like I don't, like producing, like it's okay.
Yeah.
But really just focusing on my investments. That's the goal.
Nice, nice. And then how about yourself?
How did I get into real estate? So I feel like I was forced into it a little bit. I property managed for my family while they owned commercial. So I remember being like super young. We just winged everything. We didn't know. We used brokers to lease out and stuff. And I was eventually like, why are we paying these people so much money? Like, I could do this.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and got it. And yeah.
That's good. That's good. And then are you more on the commercial side or residential side as far as sales?
I want to say only commercial, but I'll do a little bit of everything. So
Nice, nice. And how do you guys meet each other?
at our last brokerage.
Yeah, we did a switch together.
We jumped ship together. I was
Oh,
let's get
nice.
Well,
Yeah.
Rosalind was the starter.
Okay.
She jumped
Yeah,
first.
she was like on a Friday. She was like, "Hey, I think we should switch," and we're like, "Yeah, we should switch." And then next thing you know, the
was like, I
following
Monday
switched.
comes around.
the following week, she's like, "Hey, I already switched. So if you guys want to come or not,
Yeah.
like," and I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, I was like, dude, I'm in a meeting. What do you mean you already signed?
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
What about you? Because I saw you were with different
Yeah,
brokerage
I was
before.
with Midwest. It's just more the office space. The office
Mhm.
space is really nice. But also too, there's tools provided to you, right? When you sign on, you don't have to, kind of produce in order to get those access to those tools, and also too just a higher commission split.
Yeah.
So I just liked all the above, and I just decided to switch over.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
it's about, I think what a lot of people don't understand, it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much money you keep,
Yep.
So, and I think it's pretty flexible. I mean, like that for us, I think that was a driving factor too, because it's like, well, like I don't want to worry about producing more to, pay more fees. Like,
Yeah.
So,
Yep. 100%. 100%.
all right. Is there, so I think,
So
Rosa-
we
closing
always
question?
ask.
yeah.
Okay.
We always ask our guests 3 questions.
Yeah. So give us a food spot to check out, preferably like a mom and pop, low key.
Johnny's. I don't know. Johnny's on Elmwood Park.
That was Eddie's actually. That's
Yeah.
what he said.
Oh, that was Eddie's. Let me think. What else?
No, but what do you like from there?
Just the combo. The Italian ice is cheap. It's good, and it's always coming out the same every single time.
Okay.
Canton Regio in Pilsen.
Mm-hmm. That's a good spot.
Yeah, that ranchera is good, and
The carne spot.
they never miss. It is a little expensive. It's cash only, but I recommend that
Worth
spot.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Is that the
We're
one
trying
where
that
it's like bring your own liquor?
yeah, BYOB.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I got trashed there. Yeah. FYI, confession time.
You go
Kinda
ham
thing,
on
yeah.
BYOB.
We brought a bottle. It was 3 of us. Me and my girl finished it. Long
Wow.
story short, yeah.
And how recent was this?
How
This is for
re-
your birthday or something, right?
No, this was like in the beginning of the year. This was for
Oh.
her birthday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
okay.
But yeah.
What bottle?
It was a green one. I don't remember the
Green
name.
one.
It was such a good bottle too. But yeah. Yeah, it was a fun night.
Yeah.
Your next question.
Who do you look up to in business?
Who do I look up to? So my father, Josh, and then also too, there's this one guy. I think his name was like Islam Chavez. He's out in L.A. or Arizona. I'm sorry, and then but he's Hispanic, and he sold his air conditioning company for $100 million. Non-competing, and he has 5 other companies like roofing. He also has a thermostat company and plumbing and everything else. But he just has very good intel of like how to structure your business, but also too, he's very open and out there and really strongly and like kind of more, like inspiring people in a sense. The guy has, 100 million contract, but also too, he's all public. He has a bunch of billboards in Arizona, and also too, he promotes his company in whatever team there in Arizona is, the baseball team, the MLB.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, he's very big,
Wow.
and he's
So
very
cool.
inspiring
Damn.
That's awesome.
to do that.
Yeah. I love pressure washing.
Yeah.
That's cool that you make it a business. It's like so peaceful.
Yeah, it's peaceful. It's calming, and also too seeing like before and after.
Yeah.
But you'll be surprised of what people expect out of it, or also too what type of information to come up with. Try to get those, but the thing is that we involve a lot of like bleach in our process.
Oh, okay.
So those mess up like a lot of like electronics and stuff like that. So we have to
Yeah.
be careful what we use and what we wear.
And I used to
Oh,
be wearing
wrong.
those, so fuck those glasses.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
but-
Didn't
lesson,
Next question.
leave us with a nugget.
A nugget.
Yeah.
I need some
Like a
time to
nugget.
think. Pleasure comes from pain, but don't be scared to fail if you haven't even tried yet. So always take action first, then learn from the rest.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Poetic. That's our
Yeah.
up.
Thank you.
Aaron's clap.
Alex, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your story. We know our listeners are walking away inspired. And if you connected with this episode or know of someone who can enjoy this episode, don't forget to share it with them. And like always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll catch you guys on the next confession. Bye.
Bye.